drafted by my guy.
Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment, we're talking about who the Vikings are going to draft. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. 100 years, 4 generations. That says all you need to know about A.G. Hines Company. When you've got that kind of a track record, it tells everyone what kind of materials you sell, and they have the best building materials in all of East Tennessee. It also tells you what kind of people you're dealing with. And the Hines family, good as gold. They have been great friends to this show. We're working on a new set here for this show that you're going to see in our 20th year, which starts next year. And I'm working with A.G. Hines Company. I mean, if I want building materials, where do you think I'm going to go? I'm going to Knoxville's best. A.G. Hines Company, folks, located on Hines Street in downtown Knoxville. All right, let's welcome in an old friend. I told you when you said yes that it was a little like nephew Fred telling Uncle Scrooge. You've made us all very happy by showing up. Longtime sports writer, longtime member of the Sports Source panel.
So it's not exactly as bad as Cousin Eddie showing up at the Griswolds?
This is much better than Cousin Eddie. This is Ebenezer Scrooge
showing up.
showing
I
up.
won't say anything else about
This is a Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Yeah. This is a Hall of
Sports writing
Famer.
Hall of Famer, Mike Strange.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, buddy.
Glad to be back. I've got kind of goosebumps, just like that first show out on Emory Road at the what was
Spicy's.
It? Spicy's,
Yeah, years ago. Boy, I think we've got some tapes of that somewhere. I may dig that up for our 20th anniversary this year. Beer bottles flying behind us, and everything. That was a wild scene. Mike, I want to start with you. Again, we're doing kind of 20 questions today. It's kind of a quick, laid-back post-Christmas show. And question 3 on our daily list here is bringing an outside opinion, since you haven't been with us. What was your letter grade that you would give to Josh Heupel, and why? Not just for the season and the record, the recruiting, the overall impact of holding the team together, of the few guys that so many guys were leaving. He held it together. They did a pretty good job. What kind of grade are you giving him, and why?
I'm giving him an incomplete because you still got a bowl game, and that's how important bowl
very
games are.
important.
You got unfinished business. No, I'm giving him an A or an A minus. I'm really impressed in just so many things. I thought they might go 5-7 or 6-6 this year, and you look at who they lost to, and they were so much more fun to watch, especially offensively.
Yeah.
And the way they handled the quarterbacks, good quarterback play. This underscored what a difference it made over what we've seen here the last few years. And I thought the defense, for the limitations they have, made some plays. You know, they gave up a lot of points, but they made some plays and helped. So but getting beyond the field to the overall the mood of the fan base and the way they feel about their program and their coach now, I'd give him an A. I'm going to, not even an A minus, I'm giving him an A.
I think I don't see how you can give anything. I agree with you. I think that's dead on, and we've done that question with some of the other guys, and we might have had a B plus in there, but I think everybody pretty much trended toward A's because, if nothing else, just the optimism he created.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the optimism, all right? Here's my question. We've seen false starts at Tennessee. We saw them under Butch Jones. We saw it. I mean, remember, Jeremy Pruitt wins his bowl game, says the next decade's the decade of the Vols. You got Philip Fulmer walking around. We're going to take a bite out of people's butts and everything. And then he started talking about football. But everything was supposed to be rolling in the right direction. It didn't. You look at Dan Mullen, 10 wins. East champions, fired. So I ask you, are you willing, the three of you, to say, I am in. My hope level is up. I believe it's going in the right direction. Hope. Or do you say, a little gun shy, let me see another year? Where are you on the level of hope versus gun shy, Bob?
I'm a 5.
So you're gonna, you either have to be a 4 or a 6. 5 is
I am cavalier because I'm very hopeful, but I'm also very gun shy. Because once again, you got to halftime against Georgia 2 years ago, ahead of Georgia. You were 0-2. Jeremy Pruitt, phone call to John Pennington. Hey, I think this is going to be a pretty good football team. And then you go not off a cliff. I mean, it was a Wile E. Coyote cliff.
Right.
You didn't even know it was there. So I just think until this program settles down for a lengthy period of time, you got to be gun shy. You just don't know when the other shoe's going to drop or when the other anvil's going to drop on your head.
I think it's fine to be hopeful, and I think Tennessee fans should be hopeful, but you got to be prepared for to go off that cliff. I mean, look at Ed Orgeron. Look at not just A&M. Look at almost anywhere. It's just the way college football is right now.
Even look at what happened at Clemson. They've really taken a drop and lost a lot of their staff, and they may be the next one to go down.
That's a different question. I was going to do this in another show, but with the transfer portal now and with NIL where schools can go lure a guy in, I think you could make a good case that the day of consistency in college football is gone. Florida got rid of Dan Mullen and said, we want something more consistent. I just told you what it was. 10-10, East champs, and then 6-6, and you're fired. I don't think you're going to get more consistent unless you're Alabama, Ohio State, one of those top 2 or 3 programs. Right. I think everybody else is going to be more up and down than you've been in the past.
I do too.
And I think something else that goes with the gun shyness, and even though I don't think right now anybody's worried that Josh Heupel is going to leave for someplace else and millions and millions and millions of dollars, that's still going to be a factor. Let's say he did jump up to 9-3 next year and won a bowl game, and he's a 10-win coach, and somebody else comes and say, you know what, we want that excitement that he brings with that offense as much as we want that, hey, this guy's going to be a really good coach for 10 years. So, I think that's part of it, too.
And I'm sitting here thinking, how many times have we talked about not the whole program, but like the offensive line? Boy, it's going to be so much better. We've got these guys. It's really turned the corner. The offensive lines, and then we were disappointed. Kind of like with the team, you've lost to some good teams, but who have you beaten? Who have you upset? That's kind of like the next step. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
I would say my hope is a little different with this guy because I think he's shown us with his system that he can get more out of his players than we saw the last couple of coaches. I'm a little bit more hopeful because his system seems to – he'll be upset at some point, but it seems to be a barrier to those big up and down swings and upsets we've seen from Tennessee where you shouldn't have lost to this team. I think this system prevents a little bit of that. So that's a little different, I think, in terms of the level of hope for this guy than some of the previous coaches. But still, I agree with you. I wouldn't be buying any tickets to Atlanta just yet.
Unless it's the Peach Bowl.
All right. Very good. When we come back, we talked about this a little. Do fans in general still care about bowl games? Will we still be playing bowl games in 10 years or 20 years? What are the extra practices worth for the players? We'll ask some of our VFLs that stuff. Come on back on the Sports Source.
Merry Christmas, baby. Should it treat me nice?